I'm Brandon Cardet-Hernandez. I'm the president at Mrs Wordsmith. At Mrs Wordsmith, we are dedicated to revolutionizing literacy education by combining the science of reading, imaginative storytelling, and really great games. And so we try to empower kids with foundational literacy skills. We want them to love words and love reading. And we know that we can do that by building really cool, unique, gamified experiences. We founded this company to address the literacy gap that exists for so many young people. We wanted to create resources that were evidence-based, but also fun and engaging. And so we started building print products, workbooks, and really cool at-home card games that could just help build some of those foundational skills, the sort of phonics and the vocabulary work that's so essential for being a proficient reader. And then we moved into game-based learning experiences, building video games that are cool and exciting and incredibly gamified, but really evidence-based, focused in those foundational skills that we know help close those gaps that exist so widely for so many young people. The products at Mrs Wordsmith, they're for everyone. We, started building products for parents to give to their kids, grandparents to give to their grandchildren, but really from an adult seeing the journey of a reader and wanting to make sure that they have the skills to succeed. We have a hybrid business model, direct-to-consumer sales for parents and licensing partnerships with schools and districts. WordTag, which is the product we're talking about today, is super exciting because we have a game that's just for kids, direct-to-consumer, but we also have a WordTag for schools, which we're really excited about and excited to get in front of more kids. So the product is global and you can access it on the App Store across the world. And so our goal is to be able to support anyone who is invested in learning English, whether that's native English speakers or folks who are non-native English speakers. We want to bring the power of vocabulary into their home, into their classrooms, and really building that experience with 25 minutes of gameplay. For us, the North Star is closing literacy gaps that have persisted for a long time. We want to get kids reading and we want to get kids on grade level. And we want them to build those foundational skills that will allow them to have the academic and the health outcomes that we know are so deeply tied to literacy outcomes. So for us, we want to continue to market the game WordTag to families so that they see it as a really viable gamified learning experience. And then, of course, we want to be in schools. And we launched WordTag for schools so that we can get into more classrooms, get in front of more young people, and just continue to build vocabulary as a foundational part of reading. The challenge for the schools market in the US, obviously, is you're watching the news and we are about to dismantle the entire, Department of Education federally. So the little oversight we had over districts on a federal level will I think today he's signing the executive order or tomorrow. So that will remain a challenge, which will change funding streams. And the challenge also is vocabulary is this interesting thing in reading. To be able to read something and comprehend it, you need to actually know about 95% of the words on a page. The study is 95 to 98%. So it's like, you really have to there is a just right approach to reading. And the greatest barrier, there's the phonics piece, how do I sound out words? But the other barrier is if you are poor, you've had less exposure to complex vocabulary. So it makes reading harder. And so getting people to see that explicit vocabulary instruction is probably one of the greatest levers to closing the reading gap, because it's not really a reading gap, it's a word gap. The exposure to words for people in poverty look really different than for folks who are middle class or wealthy. And so it's it's really building the case that vocabulary matters. Inside of the game word tag, we use two things. We have a generative AI that is giving kids a just right challenge. We expose you to a word, we see if the kid is getting it right or wrong, and then we start building a word bank around their performance. And so you're getting that sort of productive struggle, something that feels good but is hard, but also allows you opportunities to win. And then we also use spaced repetition. So we expose a young person to a word 4 to 6 times, depending on how they're getting it right or wrong. And that spaced repetition is done in a really timely way so that they're seeing the word in its form, in its context, a definition with synonyms and word pairs. So they're really wrapping themselves in a rich way around the word in order to memorize it and learn it. Spaced repetition with that just right challenge together really sort of uses the technology in a smart way to deliver the right challenge, but also to increase performance. And then, of course, we do all the stuff that just makes gaming fun. Gamified learning with reward systems, immersive storytelling, vibrant characters, really rich 3D animation. Like all of that together builds a really cool world that's super gamified. And then on the back end, it's all the fun learning stuff that we know increases performance and outcomes for kids. For us, it's twofold. It's academic outcomes and user engagement. And so an early study showed us that kids who were playing word tag saw 43% vocabulary increase in just a term. We're currently partnering with Carnegie Mellon for future studies, but we also love the positive anecdotal feedback we get every single day from our users, whether that's kids, parents, or teachers. We love hearing from kids about how their vocabulary is expanding and ways that they're more connected to reading and feeling more successful in their everyday life. We love parents and educators noticing a shift in a young person's vocabulary. And then, of course, we love just hearing our users are having a good time, because two things can be true, right? You can have an education product and it can still be really fun. And so we love that sort of dance between where kids are telling us they're having the best time and they just purchased a scooter that's built like a toilet, and also that they're learning, tons of new words and feeling like a champion in their everyday life. Listen, I think it's AI. It's tied to how we're thinking about our own games and about word tag specifically. But, AI just will allow us more adaptive learning systems, creating deeper opportunities for personalization. It's the backbone of how we built word tag, right? We want to be able to personalize that learning experience, give kids the right challenge. We're going to continue to see more of that. And I think it's going to allow us to narrow achievement gaps much faster than we've ever seen before. One, it's just so nice to be seen and to be honored. So it's a nice validation of our mission. Obviously, it boosts our credibility. It's helpful for folks to know that we're doing really great stuff. There's a lot of noise out there in the market. And so anytime we can show ourselves as a different product with a very different focus and one that is evidence-based as well as engaging, I think that's just really helpful for us and our business. And of course, it inspires us to think bigger. How can we continue to stay on the cutting edge of digital education? And we want to do that. We want to innovate because we're focused on kids. We want to see kids winning. We want to see kids reading. And we want to build really cool stuff that will get us there.